Hello, each and every one of you out there. I am the Dancer Live Dancer. Okay, it's been a few since I did a video, but I'm very deeply disturbed and I need to talk and do this video. Because I just heard on the news, just found out, that in St. Louis, Missouri, under Lacledes Landing, that just yesterday, they took and bulldozed and got rid of a homeless person camp. I'm sure if you've seen the news, you know what I'm talking about. Where there was a whole bunch of homeless people under the viaduct over there at Lacledes Landing in St. Louis. Now, I take a look at something like this, you know what I mean? I think to myself, what the hell, you know what I mean? Now I know that some of those people can work and they don't want to, and because I've interviewed people like that before. But I know some of them are there because they don't have any other place to go. So here's what I'm sitting there complaining here about, thinking about. First of all, somebody taking and bulldozing somebody's homeless camp. First of all, did anybody ever think, hey, where are they going to go? Where are these people supposed to go? I mean, every place they go, nobody wants them. I mean, I can understand why, but hey, here's the thing about it. You got to think about it. This is directly from the Dancer Life Dancer. These people are human beings, just like everybody else. They've had bad luck. They've lost their jobs. They've had stuff happening to them. I'm not saying every one of them, has that happen. I'm saying a majority of them. I'm not saying every one of them wants to work. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm saying that there's some out there that simply to go into there and bulldoze their house up, because that's their house, even if it's a tent, and just tear up all their stuff and throw it away and take them all away like they're criminals or something. Hey, it is not a crime to be homeless, regardless of what they tell you. It is not a crime. So here's what I'm thinking, what has happened to this country? I mean, come on. I know from time to time you sit there and you look at the homeless person sitting over there with their hand out, with asking for food and stuff. And I have my stuff that I always give to the homeless people, believe it or not. I've always gave to, extra food that I have and this and that to the homeless people. Because that's what I do. Now, I want you to think about this, hon. Did you hear what I said? I want you to think about this. Suppose it was you. Suppose you lost your job or something happened or something, and you become homeless. Would you want somebody to come and just roll through what you have and, take you and throw you out in the street? And when you get out to the street, do you sit there and think about this? Because it upsets me. Because these people are people. They're human, just like you and me. I mean, some of them might be stubborn, some of them might be dirty, but most of them didn't ask to be where they're at. So my thought is, there is too many homeless people in this world today. And you want to know something? It is a pitiful shame. And I'm doing this. Shame on people out there. Because we got houses out there, we got stuff, we got ways of taking care of this. And we can give people jobs, we can give people help, we can give people aid, we can give people stuff, instead of sitting there and just bulldozing their house up, throwing all their stuff in the trash, and putting them wherever they put them. You know what I mean? Like, hey man, where are these people supposed to go? I'm asking you a question. Where are these people supposed to go? I mean, they don't have jobs. Most of them could never have jobs. I mean, I'm shaking my head. Because I sit there and I look at that, what they showed on the news. And you want to know something? I find it reprehensible. And you want to know something? I even talked to Mr. Grimm. And he's too tired to make an appearance tonight. But even he thinks it's reprehensible. I mean, hey, these people are our brothers and sisters. These are our families. These homeless people was our moms and dads and our children. And you threw them away. Did you hear what I just said? These homeless people are your brothers and sisters. They're your moms and dads and your family. And you threw them away. Like, to hell with them. You know what I mean? I'm not happy with that. I'm the Dance of Life dancer. That bothers me so much. So much. I'm just one person, though. I mean, you sit there and you see these people, they ain't got no place to live, they ain't got nothing. Did you ever sit there and stop and think of what that's like at all? Or do you just go on with your merry life and just go on about everything each day, never give a second thought to the homeless person, sit them there in the corner? You got a home to go to, you got something to go to, they don't got nothing to go to. I mean, you don't even think about them for a split second, do you? Well, I do think about them. And I find it, what they did over there at Lacledes Landing, I find it reprehensible. I find it pitiful. You know, what goes around comes around. So, this is going to come back at somebody someday. Because you do not treat people like that. Each and every one of us have feelings. Each and every one of us is a human being, just like the other person. Down on the luck, I mean, some of them might ask for it. You're right. Some of them might be lazy. Some of them might be drug addicts. I've interviewed those kind. I mean, yes, I would agree with you on that part. But I'm telling you something. Even them kind, get them into drug rehab. Get them into some place other than the street. Think about this, honey. Sit there and put your pipe down. Put your soda down. Put your $1,000 tea set down for a split second and think about this. Think about it. What would you do in this situation if this were you? What would you do? Would you be able to survive like they did? Did you think sit there and turn off your $400 telephone? You turn off your $600 iPad and think about that for a minute. These people, most of them didn't ask for this. And what happens? Most people just go straight by them and straight by them like, oh, they don't matter. But you want to know something, honey? I'm reprehensible about that. Makes me sick to think about that. Because these people are your brothers, they're your sisters, they're your teachers, they're your family members, they're your long-lost uncles, they're your long-lost parents. And you just threw them away right out in the garbage like that. No longer, oh, it's not me, I don't care about it. I got my money, oh, jeez, I don't care about them, right? Shame on you. That's not the dance of life, that's not what I believe in. I just wanted to say a few words here, because I am reprehended by what happened. I mean, that is pitiful. Then to go in there, and how would you like, I said to listen to me. You gonna listen? Put your $1,000 phone down for a minute and listen to what I got to say. How would you like it if somebody came over, threw you out of your house, bulldozed and crunched up all your belongings, including your $1,000 phone, and you're sitting there with nothing? What the hell are you gonna do now? Think about that. How would you feel? How would you react? What would you do? What would be the first thing you did? Sit there and walk down the street? You think about that, honey. You think about what these people go through. You put yourself in their place. You sit there and you think about that for 5 minutes. 5 minutes out of your time. Before you sit there and you take and destroy and bulldoze somebody's homeless camp. That's the most reprehensible, evil, upside down thing I ever seen in my life. And you want to know something, honey? Even Mr. Grimm thinks the same thing. He thinks the same thing as I do. So that's all I've got to say. You sit there and you think about that for a minute. Because these people are people just like us. That homeless guy over there has feelings just like you. Yes, they might have drug problems, they might have all kinds of problems, but how did they get their problems? Some of them got to them in a bad way, you're right, but not all of them. Some of them deserve help. And you want to know something? Before you can help them homeless people, you got to help yourself. Because we need to change our way of thinking in this world. To think about somebody other than ourselves. Did you ever think about that? Instead of sitting there thinking about your $1,000 phone or your $700,000 fucking car, think about somebody else for a change. Have a good night. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Good night.